Colleen asks, how do you maintain connection when you believe that everything is fine, when someone is complaining and wants you to be upset as proof that you care? Okay, Colleen, where should we start?
So I met a guy yesterday and he was telling me about how he's doing microdosing with MDMA. And was saying what a deep sense of feeling that he has that everything is okay, even when it's not working well, but it's going to be okay. And he asked me how he should handle when people come up to him and they're like, and he goes, because if I just say everything's okay, well, that doesn't work. And I went to the empathy thing. Oh, I can see you're really struggling and this is hard for you. And he said he tried that, but people were like, no, if you cared about me, you'd be upset too. What's wrong with you? And that's where I'm not sure where you go from there because it doesn't feel authentic to go to say, oh, I'm upset to please them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I can see how just continue to say, you know, I see that you're struggling, but inside I feel like everything is going to be okay. I can see
Hmm.
how that's going to be disconnecting. Is there a way to maintain connection or do you just mourn it?
I have no idea because I think it depends on a lot of different factors that I don't know about. But I think what you're suggesting, this idea of mourning it, is definitely one possibility.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely one possibility that if somebody is really worked up about something happening in the world, for example, and they're really upset about it and they're very animated about it, and I'm listening, but I'm not equally upset and animated in the way that they are,
Yeah.
it may feel to them like a miss, like you don't you don't feel the way that I feel about this. I can see that this thing is not affecting you in the way that it is affecting me, and that feels like a disconnect to me. And then I would just acknowledge that. I mean, we want to go for what's true. Yeah, I think that's true. I think there's much more coming up for you around this than there is for me. But I want to assure you, just because I'm not having exactly the same emotional experience doesn't mean that I'm dismissing it, devaluing it, not caring about it. I'm not intending to be glib about it. If anything is coming across to you as a bypass or a dismissiveness or a minimizing of the impact it's having on you, let me know because that's not my intention. So those are the ways that that can sometimes come across, right? If I'm just all, in my head, for example, if I'm just in my head and detached from my feelings and I'm like, everything is fine and I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this, that's a very different kind of interaction than I have different feelings and emotional responses in reaction to something, but I am still deeply caring about it with you in these ways. Do you see the
Right.
difference there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What comes up
That's
next?
no, that answers my question really. It's
Hmm.
more going with the honest expression kind of thing. And
Hmm.
that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to receive it though. Yeah.
Well,
I
it
guess
depends
that's
on
the,
what you mean by that. I mean, they're definitely gonna receive it, but they're gonna have a multitude of different reactions to that depending upon what they're wanting.
yeah,
Sometimes when people are upset, they want to find their community of people who are in it with them, who are upset with them. Sometimes that's the need. And so then I'm not the right strategy for that need if I'm not in it with you in that way.
yeah, yeah, I see.
But no one's doing anything wrong.
Right. They're
Yeah.
that's just how they're handling it. And who knows, they might be right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like exactly, who knows? But I think I mean, the two pieces we can come back to is what is true for you? What is an authentic, real thing for you? What is true for them? How do we name it? How do we hold it? How do we care about it? How do we take each other seriously? Are we being truthful that I am present and curious and engaged, and I am having a different reaction, but I am in it with you in the ways that I know how, and or sometimes it can be a moment of, am I coming at this with no self-connection and an intellectualized response to something, and I'm actually out of touch with how I feel about it, and the
I
other
have
person's longing
done
for that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the other person's longing for that is kind of a wake-up call to self-connection. Where are you? You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the question, as I understood it, though, was different from that piece because I
Hmm.
have done that where someone was like, blah, 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 and my friends are dying. Yeah, yeah, I can see that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was real, and I could, but I realized as I was saying it that I was staying really calm because I didn't want to be as scared as they were.
Yep.
And then they were really upset with me. And when I came back to them later and I said, I get it. People were bleeding and dying, and I wasn't
Hmm. Hmm.
wasn't there. And
Hmm.
I said it was
Hmm.
just self-protection, and I want you to know I
Hmm.
genuinely care. And then we kind of
Hmm. Hmm.
connected after that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's lovely. Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to feel something in the moment because I don't want it to overwhelm me and I want to stay distant from it. And so sometimes if I'm doing that thing of staying distant from it in me, it also can be reflected in the relationship because I'm not in it with the other person in a way that they might be needing. And that's fine. Then we name it. We name it, we acknowledge it, we look at it, we become conscious of it, and then we can make choices about it. Yeah.
thank you.
Cool. Okay. Easy. Thank you.